AJ here. I hope you guys are well and welcome back to my channel. This is a spontaneous video. I have decided to film this morning because this whole week I've been thinking about my 2025 journal plans, and I feel every morning I wake up and I've made a decision that completely contradicts a decision that I made the days before. And I think it's because I haven't really sat down properly to really think what I want to do for my journals next year, and why I want to make certain changes. So I think if I am able to kind of talk myself through it out loud, it would be very helpful for me. And then I think it's just a no-brainer that I film it, because maybe I have some thoughts that you find useful or helpful. So yeah, this is why we have this video. But also I think this is a bonus, more so for me again, that I wanted to try this new kind of setup in a different type of lighting. Basically, I've only ever filmed during daylight hours, but I am very nervous coming into the winter month, and I think if I like this setup and you like it and you're happy with the rendering of colors in this kind of light setting, it would be very, very helpful for me. And I feel I'm not even just for the winter month, I would just overall feel less pressure to have to film during daylight. And it usually means that I film on a Saturday morning, which sometimes I find a bit stressful. And if I can film at this kind of hour, it's perfect, because I can then film after work during the week. So hopefully this is to everybody's taste. Right, so talking about journals, I am currently in a Hobonichi A6 avec and a traveler's notebook passport. The reason why I am using a traveler's notebook passport is because I have been holding onto this very romantic thought that all my journal archives are of the same format and size. And I have been in a passport for a long time, I think probably more than a decade, or maybe coming towards a decade. And I have just such a nice stack of these, and I kind of didn't want to give it up. But I've come to the realization that in any other kind of aspect of your life, you would make changes if something doesn't work for you anymore. So it's silly for me to hold on to something so, I don't know, so detail orientated. And it kind of stresses me out having to basically fill out two journals that kind of say the same thing, but I kind of use them slightly differently, so the style is ever so slightly different, but there's no reason for me to do this. And therefore my plan is now to pause this size, even though I've just stitched this patch on and I am so in love with this cover now. But I think it's not really serving me efficiently anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna post this for next year. So that's a firm decision that I have made. And then another decision is that while I will stick with Hobonichi for my everything journal, I am going to go back into the A5 size. So the A6 size has been very good to me, because at the beginning of this year I was quite overwhelmed with the A5, and I wonder whether it was because I actually can't remember whether I was already in this. I think I was, and I think having to fill in A5 as well as keeping up with this passport has just been too much. But for next year, because I also want to basically put more notes in it, so even random lists that I make during the day, or my reading journal, I think I would want to put it all in one journal. I think it makes sense to go A5. And also I talked about it on Instagram that I feel, having held my A5 recently again, that it is just like a better format. It makes my handwriting look better, it makes the ephemera and kind of receipts and whatnot all just look a lot nicer. So I think that's also a no-brainer and a firm decision to swap into a A5. Now to like some other decisions regarding my Hobonichi lineup. So I was at the preview at the Stationery Festival in New York, and I fell in love pretty immediately with the Yumi Kitagishi collection. And I guess the last 2 days, I've been thinking about the actual practicalities of using this cover or this collection, and I've come to the conclusion that I actually will struggle to stay in this cover for the whole year. I think I will get bored of it because of it being a picture and because of the style being so particular that I don't think my mood is going to be always in the right place for this cover, which basically means I will end up having to buy another cover. And knowing me, I think I would want a leather cover. And then that's another problem is in terms of color of the leather cover. This feels kind of quite wintry. It doesn't really feel very summery or spring. So then if I wanted something for the springtime or summertime, it's very like cliche, but I think I want something more fresh. But then come winter time, will I still like this cover next year this time, or do I want like a nice dark black leather cover or something like that? So I feel like I will end up spending money on covers, but I will try not to. However, at least now I am prepared that I might have to, because I understand now that I won't be able to stay in this cover the whole year. But the inside of this cover is such a gorgeous color, and also the outside cover color is gorgeous. It's like a green color. I think on screen it's not really rendered that true to life. It really is quite a deep green, so it's very pretty. And the A6 cover, even though I am not using the A6 next year, I'm buying anyway because I think this collection is going to be popular. So not only do I have to order this during like the first day of the Hobonichi journal release, but I also feel pressured to buy this cover because I have a black cat, and therefore I feel like this is my black cat on the cover, so I can't not get it. And also the overall color, it being this dark blue, is very gorgeous. The only issue that I have is the inside is a bit bright. I think it's a very similar color to my current, or my this year's apple cinnamon cover, but then when you open that cover, the inside is nice and gentle. Let me just show you what I mean by that. So if you look at this cover, the outside is kind of really vibrant, but then the inside is nice and calming and gorgeous basically. So I worry that the inside is going to be a bit vibrant, but I think it will be okay. And I'm basically buying this cover for future use anyway. Then firm decisions that I've made as well is, because I think I will end up buying another cover, I'm not going to spend any extra money on anything else but firm decisions. So originally I was gonna buy these new colored, like kind of really pale gray and neon yellow pencil boards, but I won't anymore because I just don't think I need them. I know I don't need them because I actually really rarely use the pencil board as a pencil board. I use it sometimes to cut my washi tape or just to use it as a bookmark. So no, I don't need them. And then this clear folder set for A6 I also don't need, because again, I'm not going to be in an A6. And while I do think these images, the 3 images, are very, very cute, it's not something that I read or watch, so no. Then my weeks, I am dropping my weeks. So my weeks has been the format that I use for work for the last 2 years, but I am going back into a TN standard, and I'm very excited about that. I'm going to talk to you about this in a minute. So I'm going to drop this one as well. I had actually also decided before I made a decision to drop the weeks completely from my lineup, just to get a plain colored cover. I just don't think I would be able to cope with Yumi Kitagishi across my entire lineup of journals. So this one is going as well. And then I also was gonna get a A6 original Tetra book, but that's also silly. I'm basically getting it just in case I want to swap back out of the A5, but I actually don't think it will be the case, so there's no point in me buying it now. I can basically buy it when the situation actually arises. So I'm gonna get rid of the Avec books in the A5 because I have decided today that I am just gonna go and try a cousin or a Hon. I've always wanted to have like the year in a single book, but always worry that it will be too chunky to write in. And I think it will get chunky and it will be really hard to write in, but I'm sure I can like kind of make it work. So I have to try it, just just to see how I get on with it. The decision is just to make whether I want to go with the Hon or with the cousin. I think I will probably spend the extra £6 and go for the Hon, and it's mainly because I really want its pencil board. The pencil board has a pen loop, so I think I'll find it very useful. And I believe this Hon here will actually fit into a cover, because you can see in this picture that it's cover, instead of the cover wrapped around the book and protruding like in these images, which actually is very misleading, so be careful. So this is the actual hardcover Hon, and you can see that the cover protrudes beyond the pages of the actual techo, whereas the one that I'm getting is basically the same format, like the same size, sorry, as the cousin. I'm probably gonna get this so I can get the pencil board. Then another firm thing is that I'm going to get the A5 pencil board from the Yumi Kitagishi collection and not the other two. Initially I was like, I'm gonna have to get all of them, but I don't think I need to get all of them. I'm actually fine. I don't feel like I'm missing out, whereas before I just wanted to get them for the archive, which it's silly. Another thing that I'm not too sure about but probably will get is this Deco Rush tape, also the Yumi Kitagishi collection, because I think that's acceptable. It's like a £4 thing, and I think that's okay. This is now my final shopping list for Hobonichi, and I'm very happy with it. I think I've cut down on a lot of stuff that I thought I should just get just in case, or maybe I should get because what if I change my mind. But I think I won't, and I'm happy with this. This is reasonable. And then the reason why I have dropped the weeks is because a couple of days ago Miso Paper posted that she is going to start taking pre-orders for the Take a Note planners, and she mentioned that Take a Note is going to release this 2025 slim bi-weekly planner, and I think it sounds like the perfect planner for me for work because of this. So it has a week per page, so you have 1 week on each page, and therefore you will have 2 weeks on a double page, and I think this is perfect for what I need for work. I don't need the extra space usually that you have here in your weeks, so this is going to be amazing. And it's a like 2 birds 1 stone situation. I get to use my traveler's notebook covers especially this one. I think I've decided to use this one for work, and I don't need to make an excuse to use it. I am actually using it because I need to use it. I'm just now really happy overall with my setup for next year. So I'm going to use a Take a Note 2025 Slim bi-weekly planner in my Blackwing collaboration cover standard size traveler's notebook in black. And then I am going to get a A5 Hon with the Yumi Kitakishi cover and be happy with my setup. So I have only 2 journals for next year. I don't think I will make a change again. I don't know, I really shouldn't say that. At the moment I truly feel like this is the perfect setup for me. It's like a sign. It's meant to be that the Take a Note is happening because I can use my standard traveler's notebook. I haven't used it in like years and years, so it will be great to be back in that. And I guess the only downside is that it is a little bit bigger than the weeks, but that's fine. I am able to cope with a slight increase in weight and size. It will be made up by the fact that it's such a tactile cover, and it really is a bit more efficient for me to plan with like a 2-week view. So all in all, it will be perfect. I hope this has been useful. Let me know what you think, and see you soon.